What's going on, everybody? It's Jets Central coming back with some Jets news that happened earlier on in the day. And the New York Jets went out and made a roster move, waiving quarterback Bryce Petty. And I gotta say, I like Bryce, I really do, but I saw this move coming. Okay, under no circumstances, no way, shape, or form does an NFL team keep 5 quarterbacks on the roster heading into an NFL season. It just doesn't happen. It's unheard of, and quite frankly, it's unfair to the team to be hogging those roster spots in one position. So Petty was the odd man out, okay? And I like Petty. I've always thought he had some tools that NFL coaches would like to work with. You know, a big-bodied quarterback on the taller end. I think he's around 6'4", above-average arm. He's an upbeat kid, confident, comes in, works, really just tries to perfect his craft. He's just going to come in and put his head down and really just go to work. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for the New York Jets, obviously, but wherever he lands, I'll be pulling for him. I've always liked Bryce. I've always thought he was a really cool dude off the field as well. And I think the perfect destination for Bryce would be the New Orleans Saints. I think sitting behind Drew Brees, a veteran quarterback who is really accurate, something that Bryce Petty struggled at. I think Bryce Petty can really just sit behind him. No pressure, small market New Orleans, no really expectations at all, can sit there, soak up the game, and learn it mentally, and basically just understand it under one of the NFL's greatest quarterbacks of all time, in Drew Brees, and have an offensive-minded coach in Sean Payton for that matter. But anyway, looking back at the New York Jets quarterback room, it was obvious one person for sure had to go, and these 4 quarterbacks, the 4 current quarterbacks on the roster, all have a role with the team. Okay, and let's break it down. Josh McCown, obviously coming off of last season's starter for the New York Jets, had a career season by his standards, had a pretty solid season numbers wise, really well respected by the coaching staff, by the players around the league, and by the fans. Everyone loves Josh McCown, and plus he's a great mentor. He's a great teacher of the game to help out any young quarterback or anybody on the field that pretty much needs assistance. So moving on, we have Teddy Bridgewater, bringing him in on a 1-year deal, obviously coming off that the devastating knee injury that everyone really knows about. But when you take a look back before the injury, Teddy Bridgewater was a pretty good quarterback for the Vikings. Under Bridgewater's tutelage, the Minnesota Vikings made the playoffs. Okay, they won a lot of games. He completed a lot of passes. He moved the change a lot, and a lot of people labeled him as the game manager. Somebody that just comes in, manages the game, doesn't turn the ball over. But that's something that the New York Jets haven't had in a very long time. And pre-draft, I understand the New York Jets thinking in basically saying, hey, if we sign Teddy Bridgewater, it's a low risk, high reward style of signing. So Teddy Bridgewater, not to mention he's a great locker room dude, he's a great guy off the field, he has a role with this team. Sam Darnold, 3rd pick in the draft out of USC, the new franchise quarterback, nothing else really needs to be said about that. Obviously he has a role. And then it comes down to Bryce Petty and Christian Hackenberg. Those are kind of the last 2 in the room. Who's it going to be? And you could be sitting there saying to yourself right now, what role does Christian Hackenberg have with the New York Jets? This guy has really done nothing for the team. You guys are right, because in reality he hasn't even taken a snap in the regular season, and in the preseason he didn't look promising. Okay, so what was the decision between Bryce and Hack? Why was it Bryce as opposed to Christian? And I think it really came down to 4 things. Number 1, who cost less? Hackenberg. Who was the higher draft pick? Hackenberg. Who is the higher ceiling? Hackenberg. And then finally, who is younger? Christian Hackenberg. And I think for those 4 reasons, they went ahead with Christian for now, and moved on from Bryce Petty. So I think that's kind of what it came down to. So let me know down in the comment section your guys' thoughts on this release. I've always liked Bryce, and I really hope he gets a opportunity somewhere else in the league. Maybe not as a starter, and I'm not saying he's a top 15 quarterback or anything like that, but I'm just saying he does possess some traits that NFL quarterbacks or NFL coaches might want to work with, moving forward. And, who knows? Hopefully he blossoms into something one day, and I'll be pulling for him. So with that being said, thanks so much for watching, and go Jets.